Good afternoon, and welcome to a Blind Prime channel update. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to talk about something I just learned last night. I learned that the Bricklink designer program is accepting entries for their Series 6. How cool is that? They're accepting entries, which means I can enter. And I've studied it up. I've been looking into it before coming to you. So I have a few things, a little bullet list of things that I need to talk about, and what needs to happen for this project to work. Because before I get into the bullet list, that'll be part of the bullet list. But for the most part, this project's nearly finished. And the first thing on the list is that I have 9 days to finish it up, create a digital program that has a digital 3D render of this, as well as a digital 3D render of an instruction manual. Doesn't have to be a good one. It just has to be one that explains what's going where and how. And I need to turn all that in before the 9 days is up. So that's bullet point number 1. 9 days. The timer is ticking. And that's 9 days including today. Next one on the bullet list is that you can't do it in the opposite direction. So if you turned in a project to Lego Ideas, you have to wait 3 years until you can do anything with that project if it fails. If it succeeds, you've lost the project. It now belongs to Lego. The Bricklink individuals explained that if you turn in a project to Bricklink's designer program and it does not succeed, you can turn that project into Lego. They don't keep it for 3 years to 5 years. They don't do what Lego does. They just accept it for the competition, and if it does not succeed in the competition, then they give it back to you. I don't know what happens to it if it succeeds at the competition. Does Bricklink now own it? I have not been able to learn that information. I'm still looking into it to figure that out. So, here we're just talking about what I've learned so far. And that's one of the questions that I have yet to get answered, and I will get an answer for it as soon as I possibly can. Next thing on the bullet list is that the 3D render part is very important, because once you conduct your 3D render of the project, you can then screen it for their Series 6 brick palette, which means that they have a set number of bricks and a set number of brick colors that the project is allowed to utilize, because that's what currently the Lego factories are producing. And it has to be 86% or more of that list. It can't be 85% or less of that list, because it will not be accepted. And apparently minifigures are they make that number go down, because minifigures will always be rejected. So that's something to remember. And cloth pieces will always be rejected no matter what. But they can be accepted. It's just that the automatic rejection process will mark them as part of the 14% of the rejects. So if you need to get it to 86% or above, know that your minifigures are going to remove that percentage. So the percentage of your parts has actually got to be less if you have a lot of minifigures involved, because every one of those minifigures is going to count that percentage down further. So you'll need to ensure that your bricks are appropriate. Another bullet point list, they were like, it has to be buildable, and it has to be sturdy. It has to be something that you can create. So that's kind of funny. I'm wondering how many people just turned in Lego idea projects that they designed on their computer but never have actually built in real life. So that's a positive for me, at least, because I've already built the majority of it IRL. So all I need to do is convert it into digital. Now, being blind, that is a nigh impossible task for me. So I'm going to have to get a sighted person to assist me with that particular part. And I'm hoping that Cwal will be able to help me with that, because he's one of the people who's been helping me design this Lego project for years now. And I'm hoping that he can come over and we can sit down and do it, so long as his work doesn't give him too much to do. So that's that. I will need help transferring my project into that. Next thing is the palette thing is a little annoying because I have fun pieces that I want to include, like this really tall column that I'm pretty sure will not be available in the palette. And this shrine that I've made I've used a lot of unique pieces in it that came from different sets, and they may not be included in the palette. Those are just important things to remember. I may have to get rid of my gem shrine, where minifigures could could come here and stare at the cool rock in the center of it. I may have to get rid of it, because it may not fit. Mainly this top piece, which is a Hogwarts castle piece. So if this top piece is being reproduced, then maybe it will be successful. I don't know about the column, though. I think the column came from a Lord of the Rings set, so I don't know about the column, but I'm on the fence about the top of this shrine. Now, that's the thing about the palette that I'll have to figure out for myself in the next 9 days. We're going to have to do a lot of play around, but at the same time, it's also something I've been wanting to do for this series because there's bricks that I want to use that I don't have. So I've been trying to use other bricks to kind of get to what I want to build. For instance, there's a new piece out there that is a two plate tall piece, and it's perfect for lining up my Technic pieces on the side that I can put pins with studs on the side to make the cliff bases. I've been doing 2 plates and then the Technic piece and then a plate above, as you're supposed to do. So if I manage to get the pieces that are 2 plates tall, I can actually remove one piece from that assembly, and it will just be 3 pieces instead of the 4 pieces it currently is. And there's other things I can do to lessen the piece count, because the goal is to get it under 4,000, and that's the other bullet point. Oh my god, I forgot what. Anyway, my mind is all over the place. I am so excited. It's running in 9 different directions because of what I learned. So I've learned that I'm going to need to be under 4,000 pieces, but above 350 pieces. I can't have any minifigures until I get 375 pieces. For every 375 pieces, you can have 1 figure. Skeletons don't count. You can also, for every minifigure you have, you need 1 head for each of them that doesn't have anything to do with the other ones. So you can't have copies of heads excluding skeletons. So, understanding the skeleton rule, I'm like, oh boy, there are going to be a lot of skeletons in this thing. Because, it's an ancient cave system, and I've been really wanting to throw skeletons in amongst the corners and stuff. And I am excited to be able to just toss some skeletons into this guy on the design project part, on the computer. That would be fun, because I don't have enough skeletons. And the skeletons I do have, I don't know where they're at. They're all over the place. So that's exciting. I think that's also very fun. And the piece palette will help you out with designing your Lego minifigures. You apparently can't use minifigures from drastically different Lego series. For instance, you can't use 80s Ice Spaceman with NASA Spaceman from modern day. You can't mix those two, even though I think that would be a really fun set for NASA astronauts who are exploring space come across this ice planet filled with these ice guys. I think that would be cool, and they're limiting themselves there with creativity. I get that they're trying to keep things within a theme, but I think making the ice people, making them into something that is like an alien species or something would be really neat. So that's another bracket on the list, the bullet points. And there's the other bullet point of the Lego Ideas thing. If I turn this project into Lego Ideas, I can't do anything with this project for 3 to 5 years. If I turn this if I lose. If I win the Lego Ideas, I lose the project forever. I could show pictures and state I did this, but I can't sell it. I can't even sell the pictures of it. So that's something I need to always remember when it comes to Lego Ideas. The Bricklink, on the other hand, is different. They state if you lose the competition, You can do whatever you want with it. You can turn it into Lego ideas. The guy specifically said he would advise doing Bricklink first, then Lego ideas, if it fails at Bricklink. Now, I don't know what happens if it succeeds at Bricklink. That is still up for debate, at least in my head. I'm still learning as I go. I need to find the information out about that. What happens if I win? Do I lose access to my Lego project if I succeed? That is something important I need to learn. And once I learn it, I will be sharing it with you so that if you want to do something like this, you'll have all the information you need without doing all the legwork that I've been having to do just to figure it out. Okay? So, finally, we come to some fun stuff, prize-wise. So, if I get accepted, the prize is 5% of net profit. Now, to those individuals who don't know, there's a gross profit in companies and there's a net profit in companies. And usually everything's taken out of gross profit and net profit is given to the company that did everything. So my 5% would be taken out of gross, but not in this case. This case, they specified net. So that means that, say, I make a set that sells for an amount of money, and after all expenses are done with the set, all the expenses are taken out, and those things. So gross goes to expenses, and then after that, you get net. So if my set is $100 in the net profit range, that means I get 5% of that $100 per set, $5. If my set sells 1,000 copies, which plenty of them have sold at least 1,000 copies, then I get $5,000. Yeah, the grand prize for Lego ideas I can get if I sell 1,000 copies, and the net profit from each of those copies equals $100. And I mean, I simplified the math as much as possible to give you an understanding of the possible gains to be made, just so that you get it. As a visually impaired person who may be having difficulty reading the terms of use and getting everything straight and orderly in your mind. So that's what's going on there. I'm very excited about this. I think it's really cool, and I definitely want to see this succeed. So if you want to help me make this project succeed, you want to help me win the prize money that I will definitely be putting nearly 100% back into the channel. I have some credit cards to pay off because I've been utilizing credit cards to help pay for the channel and get things to you, my viewers and my listeners. But winning a competition and actually getting some money flowing in could be very helpful for this YouTube channel. Though I would have to be careful because I'm on SSI and I gotta watch out for that. I've got to figure that part out if I do win. But we're gonna figure that part out as we go. First off, though, we've got to turn it in. We've got to make the project happen. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish up this Lego Ideas project I've been working on, the modular cave system, and we are going to turn it into something that we can turn into Lego Designer. And learning that I'm not limited to one, I'm going to make some other sets and turn them in. I've got my Lego stand that I utilize for my cell phone, the cell phone stand I developed and built for my channel. I'm thinking about turning that in as a project. And my building Braille, all the building Braille that we've talked about on this channel, I'm going to turn it in, and it's going to be version 2 because I found plenty of problems with building Braille, and I am going to fix all of those problems with version 2. And it's actually, a lot of the problems are going to be fixed by changing what the pieces are. Instead of utilizing what I've been doing, I'm just going to use 1x1s all the way, 1x1 tiles and 1x1 studs, and that will make the Lego Braille project so much easier. Oh my God. I made such a mistake buying pieces that are 1x2s and 1x3s and 2x2s. I screwed up, and I'll admit it. I should have just done 1x1s and called it a day. That would have been so much easier. And that is what the Lego design that's what I'll be turning in for that as well. The building Braille will be getting turned in, the cell phone stand will be getting turned in, and the cave project will be getting turned in, because I believe they did request that there's smaller sets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset my big 4,000 piece set of the Lego Ideas Mountain Cave project but that's its tentative title because I've been calling it that for over a year now on the channel. You're building and designing this thing. So I'm going to be turning that in, finishing it up, turning in the cell phone stand, turning in the building Braille, because they want smaller sets. And I advise you do the same. If you've got a set that's like 400 pieces or less, it's 350 to like 450 pieces is their smaller range of sets. So if you have something like that, please turn it into them. They do want smaller sets. They requested smaller sets. So make them some smaller sets because they really want to do the bigger ones, but they have to keep an average. And that's another bullet point I forgot about. There's an average of 2.5K piece count. 2,500 pieces. That is the average they're trying to accomplish. So whenever they do a thing of 4,000 pieces that's way up here, they got to come way down here and get one that's 400 pieces to offset so they can put it kind of in a medium of 2,500 pieces. So for every big set, they need a small set. And if they get too many middle sets, they can't get a big set or a small set because it's already in the middle, the Goldilocks zone. So they can't do smaller sets or bigger sets to kind of offset the Goldilocks zone. If they get too much in the Goldilocks zone, they're locked in at making a Goldilocks zone series. Like apparently Series 5 is a bunch of Goldilocks zone builds. A bunch of builds that are 2,500 pieces, or like 1,000 pieces to 2,500 pieces or something like that. That's the medium range of sets. So please look up the rules for yourself. Figure it out. I hope that I've been able to assist you whenever it comes to understanding what's going on here. Either that or I was just a chaotic mess because my mind is going all over the place. I've got 5 pots on the fire and I am mixing them all. And it is, that's when I thrive. At me being an individual with adult onset ADD, I have always something on the oven. I'm mixing multiple pots, and if I just get one single thing, I can't focus on one single thing. So I gotta have multiple projects running, and it's usually whenever I'm feeling my best. It's when I got lots of it. So this is really fun. This is exciting for me. I can't wait to do this. I need your help though in helping me with this project. So please go over my Lego Ideas playlist and let me know what I can improve, what I can make better. Because turning this into the designer project, I think it could actually succeed. I think that it could be a $300 set. I do think these things. I don't want it to be a $300 set. I'd like it to be more on the $250 range or even just $200. I think $200 would be appropriate, but there's a lot of pieces in this set. And that's going to be another fun thing about getting it into the 3-dimensional program. The computer program is actually me learning how many pieces are in this monster I've been making. That is very stable and is not associated with Lego icons at all. Technic pins are utilized to connect pieces together, but those Technic pins and those piece connections are not associated with Lego City or Lego icons, because apparently to do, because they made a modular band. The modular band means you can't make it look like a Lego icon, so you can't have the sidewalk and the lampposts like that. You have to do something different. So they said building, sidewalk, lampposts, no. You can have a building that doesn't have its edges to the sides, and you can have a sidewalk. You can do a lot. So look into that. If you have something you're like, I want to turn it into modular. I'm sorry, mate, but they don't want you to do that. So you may have to redesign a little bit to make it something that could be modular if maybe somebody added a few more bricks, or it could be modular if somebody took a few bricks away. But that's all I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I know it's been a weird one. It has been a weird one. But it's been an important one at the same time because, we've been talking about, this really cool project and the fact that if I do succeed at this, even if I don't succeed, I'm going to be a blind designer on this, on Bricklink. So please, whenever I announce that I've turned this project in, go to Bricklink and vote. Actually, go to Bricklink now and vote. There's plenty of projects to vote on, and they actually mentioned on their little video, which is available on the Bricklink website. I watched the entire thing through. You should watch the entire thing through. will give you a lot of useful information. Some redundant information because for some reason people could not get over the fact that you're not allowed zoos. They were like, what constitutes an animal in a cage? Like, oh my God, he's explained it 3 times. Just, just go with what Lego does. It's that simple. If Lego's not making a zoo, don't make a zoo. Um, Also, no fuel. No, you can have a hopper train car. You can have historic representations of coal or fuel, but you cannot have any modern representations of it because Lego's gone electric vehicle. They got a lot of electric vehicle charging stations, and you have to do electric vehicle now too. Or you have to make your vehicle not not something that can be pointed at and stated that's a gasoline powered vehicle, which is a shame because I love the exhaust pipes and stuff, and that is going to be sad to lose our fun exhaust pipes and our fun hot rod engines. It's a very sad day, but you got to move forwards. Got to be planning for a better future, right? And the best way to start planning for a better future is have toys that represent that better future, and that's what they're doing there. They want to represent a future of eco-friendliness and fuels that, that work within the environment and are completely recyclable. And they're trying for that stuff. They're trying for environmentalism. They're trying to get more kids to understand what environmentalism is all about, and I understand that completely and accept it. The days of the gas station are over, and it's sad to say, but the days of the electric charging station are just starting. And there's not really a concrete way to do an electric charger. So, because the thing's still out. I mean, yeah. Right now we have the exact stable way to do gas pumps. All gas pumps basically look the same. But I bet you not all charging stations look the same right now. So it's that fun part of a new technology where it can be just about anything so long as it can charge a car. So if you do an electric charging station thing, keep that in mind. We are still at the forefront of electric charging stations, which means it can basically be anything. Just be creative. And that is what that's the biggest thing I want to impart to you about all this. Be creative, because that's the point of this designer program from Bricklink. That's the point of Lego Ideas from Lego, is to celebrate creativity. So go out there and be creative. No matter what disability you have, you can still be creative with Lego. So go out there and be creative with Lego. Show them what you got. Thanks for watching. Till next Pride. Bye-bye for now.